And we are live. Good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. I am Robert Henderson Jr., President, Founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be going solo here, I think, but we might be able to get James T. He's out, and hopefully we can get him, But I got a great show lined up for you today. I'm Robert Henderson Jr., those who tuned in for the first time. I'm the president, CEO, and founder of the Henderson Financial Group. We're a financial planning firm in South Florida. We've been doing this for over 30 years. We have clients throughout the whole nation, all over, and we have clients outside of the country also. And a lot of our clients come from referrals. We're just doing good work. We love what we do. We full service. We do total financial planning. We like to say we do MRI on you. That's a medical term when we check everything, not just one thing, but we check everything. Clients come to us just to invest in stocks or whatever. But before we do that, we want to do a checkup and say, let me make sure you have your required things you need to have in order to navigate through this life. You come to us and say, hey, I got $100,000. I want to buy stocks, or I got $10,000. I want to buy Apple. We're going to ask you some questions before we do that, because we'll be, we wouldn't be good of us really to just give you something without asking you some questions. It's like giving a drink to a minor. I'm gonna ask you, how old are you? So we're gonna ask you exactly how much time do you have any experience in stocks? You know how stocks work. And if it's real estate, we're gonna ask you about real estate. We're gonna ask you about your credit. And people come to us for putting together living trusts. So we're pretty good at that, helping people and breaking it down to you like a 6-year-old, because we found out a lot of people need living trusts. So we work with a group of attorneys, and they give us their software so we can actually work with clients to help them navigate through wills and trusts and explain it to them and break it down to you, because a lot of the legal jargon most people don't understand, and attorneys know that. So as financial planners, then we can really talk to clients and say which one is best for you: a living trust, or irrevocable trust, or a children trust, or ILED, life insurance trust. It's over 100 different type of trusts, and people just see stuff on the internet and they say, I want a trust. But that's just like going to a toolbox and saying, I want a tool. What do you need? A hammer? What are you trying to do? Do you need a screwdriver? Do you need some pliers? First we need to know what you're trying to build, what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go. And that's why also we call our financial planning strategy a GPS. And when you look at a GPS, the GPS is good for navigating, help you to get to where you want to go. But first, before it can tell you how to get there, it always asks you, where are you now? You have to have a starting point. And some people are like, hey, I don't want to tell you where I am. Just tell me how to get somewhere. No. In order to really tell you where you want to go financially and help you get there, we need to know where you are. And that's when we send you out an intake sheet, or we ask you some questions like, where are you? You want to retire. You can't just retire right now. You want to make sure that, you have the resources and you have income coming in to last you, the rest of your life. I don't know what the rest of your life is, but we try to project at least 30 years, hopefully. If you're 50 years old and you retire because you got it early on some government job, then hopefully, 50, you're going to live to 90. That's 40 years. If you're 60 years old or 62 years old, we project at least to 90 to 100. Who don't know? Who knows? No one knows the time and the hour, but at least you want to be ready. It's better to have it and not use it than to not have it and need it. So we that's what financial planning is. We can't say for sure, but you at least you want to plan for it. Right now here, and what's going on with the market and the whole economy in terms of America, this is 2026. This is YouTube and Facebook. So, this thing gonna stay on forever. But right now here in 2026, a lot of volatility in terms of the stock market. A lot of stocks have come down a great deal. Now you can look at that two ways. People who are about to retire, it's not a good time to start taking money out monthly out of your retirement accounts to take care of your overhead expenses if you're in the stock market. That's why I say most people are in the wrong. When you retire, you have your money in the wrong places. you probably should have your money in the fixed account, whether you're getting a pension or Social Security, or it should be some sort of fixed guaranteed annuity. And that's what I want to talk to you all about today, because most people don't know which product to use, and a salesperson will sell you anything. Someone who's just selling you products, especially somebody who works for a brokerage firm, they're going to sell you so they can get a commission. They don't really ask you, what do you really need? They're not going to do a GPS with you to say, okay, where are you? Where you trying to go? And they're not going to check everything. They're just not. They're just going to sell you something, okay? At the Henderson Financial Group, we don't do that. We analyze, we diagnose your situation, then we prescribe proper financial strategy. That's what we do. We have to look at where you are, your goals, your objectives, your risk tolerance, and then we tell you what's available out there in the financial landscape, all these different products. And then we tell you, hey, based on what you're telling me, what your investment temperament is, how risky or scary you are, then you need to go down this road. And then we try to give you supporting documents, you know, and that's very comforting to a whole lot of people, because like I said, in this whole financial maze, man, you with all these different terminologies and these different investment products, you could really get lost and have the wrong thing. I'll go out far as to say most people have the wrong investment, and it's not really tailored to what they really need. So you got to have a conversation, have a relationship with a financial planner, someone who's really not just there to just get a fee or charge you a commission, but someone who really, really cares. And at the Henderson Financial Group, that's what we do. I tell you, you know, and that's why we get referrals from all walks of life, different nationality, different people. It doesn't really matter. People just looking for good information, somebody they can trust and feel like going to really be honest with them. And we do. You know, we treat you just like if it was ourselves. You know, really, we give you advice and we talk to you, and we don't try to get rich quick. We don't go things like, you know, we don't invest in things like that. And yes, I get phone calls all the time from solicitors telling me, Henderson, here's a product, give to your clients, they can get rich so quick. I don't believe in that. I believe in reaping and sowing. I believe in time, Time. I believe in planting a seed and cultivating it and watching it grow. If you do that, then you know just what you planted, just what you expect to get out of life. That's it, you know? And so that leads me, I was thinking about today, I was saying, I'm going to talk to you about some of the basic things that everybody should have. I think everybody should have these basic tools or these basic investment these strategies. And in order to, if you really want to retire from when you're young to when you're middle age until you're old. So one of the things I like to talk about, which now a lot of brokerage firms are starting to get on it, and they're talking about these fixed index annuities because it's guaranteed income. They always hate it. Most brokers don't like to sell you a fixed, and they say sell you a variable annuity. And a variable annuity means because it's tied to the stock market, and then they get fees and they get commissions, so to speak. I don't like variable annuities. It's too risky, and the cost is too much. You can get the same thing, even better, guaranteed, knowing what you're going to get if you get a fixed, guaranteed principal annuity. All right. So some of y'all that's listening to me, I know some of y'all are in the business, and yeah, you know, you can still game. It's okay. I mean, you know, what's for me is for me. You know who you are because y'all watch me every Saturday, but that's okay. As long as you're learning something, still doing it right. If I'm helping you to help your clients, then that's good. I feel good about that. The universe will always reward me, so I'm okay with that. But let's talk about some of the products that I think that you should need. Matter of fact, I just earlier this month, no, that was last month at the end, I went to a financial conference, and they had this insurance product for minors. Believe me, I mean, if under 18 years old, they got an insurance product, man, where you can actually put in 5,000, you know, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000. You can put in one lump sum. If the kid is under 18, you can get them a cash value life insurance with no blood, no urine, no medical check or nothing. You could put that in there, and then you can put money in it 3 times, and it's guaranteed issue. I thought that was pretty good. I mean, I really did. And I think that I'm going to do a show on that, you know. And the other thing that I like a lot of people need final expense. Final expense means that you just need money for burial. You know, you don't need you don't want to spend a whole lot of money into a cash value life insurance like an IUL or whatever. But you got an elderly parent, and they want to get you want to get some coverage for them because you know that you're probably the only one that got the money. And if something happens to your elderly parent, your grandmother, whatever, you're gonna have to fork the money out and pay. They're gonna come to you, especially because they don't want to get cremated, which is the most economical thing to do. But some people don't believe in that. They feel like the next life they don't want to be burnt up, for whatever reason, right? But yeah, I found this company who I've investigated. We've investigated and researching it, and it's pretty good. And it's a final expense. So if you have someone out there that you want to get a 10,000 or 20,000 or 50, I should take that back because nowadays, man, wow, these funerals cost a lot of money, man. I remember they used to cost $5,000, but I'm dating myself. These funerals cost $25,000, $30,000 now. Wow. They're putting people in the ground for $30,000, man. That's amazing. That's in one day and they're gone. I mean, that's crazy. But anyway, there's a final expense company that I like that their rates and stuff. So if you have anyone that this guaranteed issue also, then give us a call if you got a grandmother, cousin, or someone who you want to, that people are going to come to you if something happens to them. They die, they can come to you for the money, so you can always ensure that, So let's talk about the products that I think that that most people should have and why you should have that. Why the products? What type of investment strategies you should have? Okay, so one, let's start with the annuities. That's I was just talking to a lady yesterday. She couldn't believe that there was an insurance company out there that'll give you a 45% match. Whatever money you put in, minimum is 20,000, but they'll match it 45%. So she says, Robert, if I put in $100,000, it'll automatically match it 45%, which they'll boost it to 145,000. I said, yes. I said, but there's a drawback. When they give you the 45,000, you can't take it out right then. The only reason why you to buy a CD, the only reason why you buy an annuity anyway, because you want to get income off that. Because right now, if you have $100,000 and you go buy a CD, they're not going to pay you 8, 9, 10%. They're just not going to do that. But you can get that with an annuity and you can get that stream of income. So the only reason why you would want to, one of the reasons why you want to get a fixed guaranteed index annuity is because you want something that you can put money into that later on it will pay you monthly income for the rest of your life. Now think about that. Just think about that. Something that and you can't lose a penny. And as a matter of fact, when you put the money in there, while it's in there, the minimum it can go up is 6 or 8%. It grows, guaranteed. And you can keep it in there for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and it's growing, but it's not growing so you can just grab it and go buy a car. It's growing because you have this strategy that you want to put money somewhere where when you get to a certain age, you want to be able to turn it on and it's going to feed you and give you income guaranteed for the rest of your life, So if you have $100,000, it's going to give you 10%. That's $10,000 a year. That's $833 a month. But if you say, okay, if I turn it on right now, that's what it'll give me. But what if I wait next year? It has grown 8% more. So now it's that 100,000 turned to 108,000. Plus, remember they gave you 45% bonus. So they gave you 45% on top of that. I like that. So annuities are good for providing definite guarantee stream of income for the rest of your life when you stop working. And see, if they would have told us this, if we would have understood this from a long time ago, from being kids and growing up, being 18 years old, getting your first job, and it's, most of the time they told us, hey, just get rich, become a millionaire. But becoming a millionaire is not it. Because right now, having $1 million, you ain't really, it's something, but it ain't all like it used to be 30, 40, 50 years ago, Now they talking about billions, you'd be a billionaire. But it's not the same because the time value of money and the cost of goods and services continue to creep up. You know what I mean? One show I was telling you that Burger King Whopper used to cost 37 cents. You can't go to Burger King and get a Whopper now for 37 cents. If you want to get a meal, it's $10, $11, $12, and Whopper costs $10. So it has really went up a great deal. But if they would have told us, listen, when you all are young, you get your first job, you put money away. You need to understand, if you're going to be doing this for a while, you need to not work hours for dollars. You're going to have to do that when you're first starting, but you want to get to a point where you want to plant seeds like a farmer, and you want a certain amount of money to grow uninterrupted. You don't want it to really grow where you have to keep taking money out. All right. So there's three type of components, three areas. One, you want to have money for emergency cash flow. We know that. That's money to paying your bills and being liquid, so to speak. They call that liquid. Then while you young, it's really good if you can get a life insurance policy, one that gives you cash value. Why would you need a life insurance policy? Because no one knows the time and the hour when you would die, and then that liability is going to come to your loved ones and your family. So if you have a life insurance policy, I like the cash value life insurance policy. Why I like cash value, right? I like cash value because when you put money in there, part of that, you put money into the policy, part of it goes into a little savings account. Now that savings account, you have access to it. So it's liquid. So I like that too. You can pull money out, borrow against it. Now, when I say borrow against it, when I was younger, I never liked that concept, borrowing against money I put in. I say, I put money into this life insurance, so I got to borrow it out. That's really a tax strategy why they do that. You could say, give me my money, withdraw my money. But when you say borrow, it's really a tax strategy why they say borrow it out. Because when you borrow it out, you're not really borrowing your own money. Your money is in that cash value policy. You borrowing money from the insurance company. And you go, why should I borrow money from the insurance company? Give me my money I put in there. Well, if you do that, you're going to stop the compounding growth. You don't want to stop the compounding growth of it. You want it to continue to grow like you never touched it. And you want the insurance company to use what you have in there and collateralize and give you money. You follow me? That's what you want to do. And then that way it's tax-free. So insurance money give you a loan against money that you have in there. That's why it's tax-free. If you just withdraw your money, it's not tax-free because it has grown while it was in there. So that's why the strategy, you want to put money into a cash value policy, and you want to put as much as you possibly can for two components. Two reasons why. One, because you have access to that money if you ever really need it. Two, if all of a sudden you give up the ghost and you're in heaven, then your loved ones don't have to worry about burying you. And if you have kids, you want to be able to replace the income that you normally would bring to the household. If you have a wife or a husband, you want to be able to replace that income with that lump sum of life insurance. So while you're young, you should have that. Other thing, when you're young, you really should have you really should have either in stocks, ETF, exchange traded funds. Okay, you probably want to be in that because when you're young, you got time for it to go up, come down, go up and come down. So let me explain. I'm explaining you how the stock market works and how it's been working, and how most people don't really understand how it works. So follow me here, okay? Wealthy people, because wealthy people like when the stock market crash. Right now, when the stock market is very volatile and shares are going down, they really, really love that. Why? Because think about it. Wealthy people let's say they have a business over here. They continually making money. They got to put that money somewhere. They don't want to keep putting it in the stock market and buying shares at higher prices. So if they getting money over here because they got a business, whatever business they in, whatever business they do, they getting money. They're already wealthy. They're getting a lot of money per month. So the share price is right here. They want to take that money and they want to buy low. Then when they continue to get money, if the stocks keep coming up, they got to do something with the money. They got to buy it. They're going to put money into it for the long run. They buy stocks then. But they really like turmoil when the market goes down, because then that same money, they can put it in there in the stock market and buy stuff cheaper because they putting it in there for 20 years, 30 years. Poor people don't do that. Poor people use the stock market differently. Poor people want to invest in the stock market to get rich quick. So it's designed to go up and it's designed to come back down. If the stock market continues to go up, nobody would have money nowhere else, And it wouldn't do that because there's going to be no risk. So stock market always designed to have volatility. So while you young and you have your savings, you want to put money and buy Apple. I was just looking at Amazon the other day. It was $200 a share. Then I turned it around. It's $230 a share. What would you want to buy it at? $200 or you want to buy it at $230? You want to buy, if you got long vision, you want to buy it cheap. When you want to go to Macy's or Dillard's and buy some clothes, when it's high, when it just got off when it just new, or you don't wait till they drop it down, it's a sale. Yes, most people want to get bargains. So that's how what happens with wealthy people. Wealthy people love the stock market. If you look, you'll see when the Republicans in office, you get a lot of war, and you get the stock market, you get a lot of turmoil because it's designed like that. Believe it or not, if you look at it, it comes down, they put a lot of money into it. And then later on, when the Democrats come in and straighten stuff out and do all that, and the stock market started rising, then they, yeah. So during these turbulent times, it ain't bad for some people. Some people like it when it's turbulent times because they can get better deals. All right. So listen, I see my brother James T in the background there. Let me bring him in. I see that beautiful brother, this black smile there. Let me bring my brother in. What's up, my brother?
Oh, brother. Hey, he can't win, but we're good, man. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for holding things down. But don't forget, my day started about 4:15 this morning. So
AM. Yeah, you start early, man. You always start early. You up 4 o'clock in the morning, James.
No, I'm up before 4. But
Early
hey,
bird.
but man, Robert, you've been giving some good info because I've been telling people, hey, we allow what we hear other people say to do it. We can't operate in fear. And hey, like you said, some of the best buys happens when times are not good and other people are willing to give up for less.
That's right. That's right. And this been going on since the beginning of time. And people just don't understand. A lot of people saying they want to sell. But that's you shouldn't be in the stock market if every time it pulls back, you want to sell. You really shouldn't, because
But
you don't
Rob, but you
understand it.
taught us, you taught many of us that, hey, if there's something that is valuable and good and it's on sale, what you do? Buy it.
Buy it. Buy it.
Buy it. And particularly, hey man, one of the best moves I ever made was, I think it was on one of my first investments, was that dollar cost averaging going down.
Yes.
Hey, as it went down, I kept
Buy more.
buying.
That's right. But see, James, you got to have a vision. You got to have a vision, or be around people to talk to you and tell you that. You know what I mean? You have to. But most people don't. Most people are not around people with wisdom and understanding. You know what I mean?
Well, I think well, and it goes back to what that book says that we're to do. Hey, we feel as though during dark times, that, oh my goodness, what we got to do is pull all of our eggs in and hold on to it. No. Hey, as a matter of fact, as you plant, first of all, when you put it in the ground, you can't see an instant return, or you can't sit there and wait for it to pop up. But as long as it's in great soil, it's continuing to grow beneath the dirt where you can't
Even though
see
you
it.
can't see it. Even though you can't see it.
Even
Right.
though you can't see it. But that goes back to that favorite word of ours, faith. You got to have faith. You
Yeah, but see,
got
but
to.
most people want to see, James, because and when you said that, when you just said that, I thought about my grandson. He's 8 years old now. My, how he has grown. But James, I see him when he was born. I see him how he is now, the height and the size he is right now. But something, James, I never saw him grow.
Hey, Rob, the only way you can see his growth is look at the pictures of when he was 1, when he was 2, when he was 3, when he was 4. Hey, yes, when it was not gray, we can see ourselves, hey, at other times. But the fact is, we must have faith. We must believe. And our economy and our wealth should not be determined by quote unquote what's happening in any house. You know,
Right.
White House, the outhouse, hey, the Congress. Hey, come on, man. Hey, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And of course, to listen to someone like yourself who's been in the business and who can share the stories of how it was. Going back, Rob, what was it, 2008, when there was a big drop and
Oh
everybody was
yeah,
just, oh
man.
my
Oh
Lord.
man.
Oh, wait. Worse than that, Rob, guess what?
Pandemic.
Everybody was afraid when it was going to go from 1999 to 2000.
Yeah, it really was. People was afraid from the year 1999 to the year
Yeah.
2000. They came out with all kind of scary predictions, saying the world's going to end and this and that, Notre Dame, this and that, and better not do this. You better get a bunker, and world coming to an end the year two. It's always chatter, negative chatter out there in the universe, out here in the world, out here, and it just depends on what you want to believe. Now, like you say, James, that faith. I was
Mm.
telling them when you're younger, you should be investing in not that probably not directly in the stock market, but probably into ETF, a bucket of funds, shares. You because then you have time and you understand. Like I was just telling them how the wealthy people they love when it comes down because they can buy more shares because they're looking at 20 years from now. And I told y'all a long time ago, this year, it takes about 15 to 20 years to really build wealth. Now you got to get that in your head. That's having faith. It takes about 15 to 20 years or more to really build wealth. I don't care what you're doing. And it takes that long also to be good at something. I don't care what it is to be really, really good at something. Whether you're a chef, okay, whether you're a chef or whatever financial advisor, I mean, you got young people coming in just getting their license, somebody they want to be a financial advisor. You ain't what? You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen no war. I mean, even to be a parent, it takes people a while, to learn how to be a parent. They don't give you classes on that. It takes a while to be good at, time to be good at something. I mean, it really does, So that's why you need to go with somebody who's seasoned, someone who a firm like ours who've been around for over 30 years. I've been doing this for 40 years. To understand, to help you to understand the strategy that you should use in order to navigate you to the promised land, financial promised land. So I was telling them how when you're young, you should be investing in companies and businesses. Because I'm gonna tell you something, regardless of who's in the White House, America thrives and needs the stock market. It really does. It really does, because that's how the rich and wealthy, that's where they get their money from: stocks, banks, shares. We're a business country, and real estate. The same thing. You should be in real estate, but the problem is when I think about real estate, the system tells people about real estate and don't tell people about annuities, or tell people a way about, they think real estate is the only way. And I guess because most people need housing, but there's a lot of wealthy people, man. I know wealthy people right now who's 65 years old who never personally owned a house. They own a lot of rental property, and they're very wealthy. They never personally owned a house because anything they will buy, they want to be making money for them. When you actually buy a house and live in it, that is a big liability.
Well, Rob, there are communities that says that's what they teach their children, from an early age, going back when you say, well, hey, doing things early and while you're young. But they teach them that, hey, go into a market, find the ugliest house in that market, and let's buy
That's right.
it. Because, hey, even if that house stays ugly, at some point it's going to be torn down, and that land is going to become more valuable than the house that was there because of location, time, and gentrification. And
I've experienced
what?
that firsthand.
Right? Hey, right? Oh, Rob, come on. I mean, a lot of time. Oh, I don't want to buy no house over there. Oh, really? Well, go to the areas where over there was and find out where the people who were over there are. Hey, Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County, I don't care where it is. They called it the hood. I never called it the hood. I didn't even call it a neighborhood. I call as what do they say in Japan, Rob, or China? Opportunity.
Opportunity.
Opportunity. I don't see a crisis, see an opportunity.
Yes, yes. And people buy it all over, man. I mean, I let me see, in 2017, I bought 15 duplex lots, and each lot was about $8,000. It was in West Florida. And I still get calls and, hey, James, I get letters from people from New York, California saying they want to buy my. Now they in New York, California, but here they want to buy here in Florida on the West Coast, something I bought for $8,000 in 2017. They want to ask me 50, 60,000 per lot, and they're not even here. So the point is, like you just said, you don't have to live there.
Nope.
You just have to you buy an ugly house, and you just. But one thing you do have to, you should be required. I mean, you should know and be willing to accept is TIME, time.
Ooh,
that's how you build wealth. Now,
we don't deal with
poor
that.
people, they wanna do everything fast, but that's a sucker move, because in the universe, nothing good happens fast. You have to pay with time, money, sacrifice. That builds wealth. Those are the ingredients for building wealth. If anybody tell you, here's something you can do real quick and make a lot of money, run. That way or that way. Just go that way or that way. Because I'm telling you, that is not the secret. That is not the prerequisite for building wealth. You know, you have to have time. You have to understand this TIME, time. That if you doing something that most people wouldn't do, the average person wouldn't do it. If you're surrounded by people who have less of income, ain't none of them doing nothing with no time. They want to hurry up and quick stuff. That's why they all in the casinos doing that one unbanded and trying to get money and scratch off instantly. See, wealthy people don't go in there scratching off because we understand how the universe works, how wealth building works. It's not quick. It's planting seeds. And like James, you said, you can't even see it grow.
No, you can't see it grow. You're not supposed to. You should move on to the next planting.
Right.
Don't sit there and wait for it to come up. I saw where a gentleman said he never puts more than $10,000 in a bank, because what he wants his money to do. First of all, know that without your knowledge, you put $10,000 in the bank in your name. Guess what? First thing happens is the government knows that you've got $10,000 in the bank in your name. And if you got more than that in the bank in your name, they're required. The banks are required to notify government that you have this money. But why are you putting it in a bank or putting it in a safe? I'm one of those crazies. I did that back in the day. Hey, put money in a safe. Boom, boom. Well, hey, Rob, I never seen money grow and make money in a safe.
In a safe, never.
Never.
Never. Whatever you put in there 10 years ago, you got the same thing in there. It ain't grow.
But realizing that if you had properly planted that, or if you had invested that, or if you had, I remember, Rob, when you first started on Saturdays, and can you imagine if people had listened to you and did what you advised them to do? What was that, 2006, something like that?
Yeah, 2006. Yeah. It's been 20 years ago. People have called me and told me that, man.
Yeah. If I listened, if I did what you told me to do.
Exactly what they've said. They said, if I had done what you told me to do, man, I'd be well off now,
Right. And Rob, the fact is, one of the comments you made too, because, everybody gets locked into this thing about owning a house. And that was one of the greatest advices I got from my aunt when I was saying, oh, I'm gonna buy me a house. And she said, Jimmy, before you buy a house, buy a piece of income property. And I got with Robert Henderson.
That's right.
And the first thing we did was, hey, buy some. And I was living in an apartment while I owned the apartments.
Me too. Me too. Me too. I was living in an apartment, and I started working with this real estate firm, and they was building houses, and they was renting them out and selling them. I said, "Oh, I want to get one of them too." So I bought a duplex. I bought a duplex, brand new one, man, and I was still living in an apartment. And
Exactly.
I had rental property before I had a residence. Isn't that something?
But Rob, having a
Smartest
vision.
thing I did.
Come on, Rob. Having a vision, having a thought, and again, and listening. Hey, but that asking, seeking, and knocking. Maybe you should be asking Robert Henderson, calling the Henderson Financial Group and saying, okay, these are difficult times. Hey, why are you guys so excited? What are you doing? Hey, Rob, we're not sitting here wondering who's going to be the next president. I don't care who the next president is. I don't care who the president is now.
Don't care.
Hey, whoever's elected or elected, okay, so be it. But there's things that we can be doing right now that will prepare for, hey, then, whenever then is. If it changes, it changes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that doesn't stop us from changing. Change. Change. Hey, man, if things are always the same with you, hey, you're not growing, you're dying.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You're not. You have to be making a change, because change is how you build. Something has to be new. So as I was saying, James, when you're young, you start off and you want to put money in the market, but you want to get some guidance. You don't want that. A lot of young people who are in the market right now, they're trying to get rich quick. That's not how. That's not. I'm saying planting a seed. I'm not saying trading, buying and selling. Because the only thing you do is getting yourself into a tax problem. Trust me. What you want to do is plant seeds in good companies. And if you don't know how to do that, then you call the Henderson Financial Group. We'll tell you how to plant seeds in good companies and let them grow. You don't have to watch it every day. Okay, you don't have to. If you got a good company, good management, that's all you need, because they all go up and they come down. But I tell you just how the stock market does. If you watch my finger, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it's go down, it's go up, it go down, it's going up, it's go down, it's going up, it's going 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 down. It's going to keep doing that. That's the way it's designed. But if you trying to day trade and whatever, you're going to run yourself crazy. If you're trying to get rich quick, and as soon as they go up and they go down, you sell, that's why you are always a day late and $1 short. Wealthy people, they know. Right now, we looking at it's touching Dow Jones at 46, 47,000. It's hovering on 50,000. I remember when the Dow Jones hit 6,000. Barack Obama, then 2008, it was 6,000. That means, what I mean, the Dow Jones, because every time they go up and down, they keep it points, every time points. It was the whole overall market was 6,000. Now it's talking about 50,000. And that's since 2008. So think about that. 2008, what has that been, 16 years ago? Think about that. Some people say, man, that's a long time. But you could have got wealthy in 16 years when it hit 2008, when we thought the world was coming to an end, when the real estate, every crisis. Remember that? Banks.
Yeah.
If you just would have planted seeds, bought some stuff, and just let it leave. Okay. Now we went through from 2008, the next big pullback, we had them back doing this, but then in the year 2020, oh my God, during the pandemic, oh my God, businesses rolling up, shutting down, people had lost their jobs. That's how we started this Zoom stuff and, all of this stuff. The world changed. But what if you'd have got in 2008 and 2020? I got a client, man, that had a lot of Apple shares. They had like 30,000 Apple shares. He like, Rob, sell. I said, you fool, we ain't gonna sell them shares. Now he thanks me. That was 2020. Now he thanking me. Oh my God, Rob, you're a genius. No, I ain't a genius. I just got vision.
Ooh.
Experience. You gotta have vision, and I have faith. I already know. Now we getting ready to go into this AI thing. Woo! Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it.
It's a tool. It is a tool, like a hammer. It's a screw. It's something that you use. Don't fear it. Use it.
I use it every day.
Use it.
My AI is like my butler, like my genie. I ask it questions. I ask, oh man, I ask it all kind of stuff, and I put documents in there and say, analyze this for me, 10 seconds. Bam. It cuts down on me reading so much stuff. And this here, people calling me saying, hey, Henderson, I want to go into this investment. What do you think about it? Send me all these documents. Man, I put that thing in that AI. It summarized that thing, tell me the pros and cons and everything in 10 seconds. I can tell them, okay, okay. Do you have any experience? It's going to cost a lot of labor. If you actually get into this, you retired, you're gonna have to really, really work. Do you want to do this, or you want to do a business that's just going to pay you, or you want to do a business that you got to mind just like it's 100 little kids? All money ain't good money. People want to get into investments and get into things and stuff. It has to agree with your investment temperament. People come to me all the time, James, for different type of investments, but I can't be good at what I do right now and then go and open up a donut shop. I can't. I don't know anything about donuts. I had to learn about donuts, but that'll take away from me being at the Henderson Financial Group. And then what happens if an employee doesn't show up? I can't not come to my office, what I love, to go and stand behind the counter and make donuts. I can't do that. You follow me? And then plus, the way I'm going, I ain't got no time for that. So when you get into a business, you got to look at, is it like having 100 little kids, babies? You got to babysit it, or it's going to be automatic. I mean, it's always pros and cons now, but any business you get in, if you get into any business thinking that it's easy, you're making the wrong step. Any business that's good, I promise you, in the beginning, it's going to be challenges. And if it's not challenges, then it's not a good business. It's probably illegal, but even the illegal stuff is still challenging. Any business that's worth having, anything that's worth having, in the beginning, is going to be challenging, but only for a little while.
Are you willing to stick it out?
That's right. If you can get through that smoke screen, if you can get through that.
But Joseph didn't know when he was beat by his brothers and thrown in the pit that he was going to be able to tell them and the family to come so that you can live through this famine. He went from the pit to the palace.
And that's something,
like you said, it took time and him going through.
Any business. Some people say, Rob, man, I want to get into, having these group homes. I want to get into selling medical equipment. Listen, people get rich and wealthy off selling cups, selling peppermint tea, selling clothes, selling paper, selling pens, selling cameras. I mean, there is no item that you could look at. Selling paint, looking at my walls, selling signs. There is people have got wealthy selling everything that you could see, and even things that you cannot see.
Let's see.
The only difference is how they do it, the way they doing it, and the time they put into it. There's no shortcut.
What's your favorite saying, Rob? Doing a certain thing
a certain way. You have to do things a certain way. Doing things a certain way. Just because you get a license, just because you can pay for something, anybody could get married. I mean, you just go get a license, see the girl, hey, let's marry. Boy, oh, hey, you look good, I look good. Let's get married. But how long can it last? Now, I don't think that getting married, I'm just using it as a metaphor, as an example. I've been May 23rd, 1987. Me and Natalie would be 39 years married. You think it wasn't like the stock market?
But it did keep going up,
Yeah,
right?
it's the 39 years. So if you're looking for any business that you don't think that you're not going to have some challenges and it's a good business, oh, you might as well don't get into it. People always looking for the easy way out.
But Rob, do you think, Rob, that people make a mistake by trying? Some people make a mistake by trying to build their own business rather than, as you've been suggesting, finding ways of investing in great businesses that are going to continue to grow because it meets a need and people continue to buy.
Absolutely, James. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody are not equipped to be a CEO. Just because you have an idea don't mean that you should run the company. You know, just because you can cook does not mean you need to open up a restaurant.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Say, wait, Mr. Henderson, repeat. Repeat. Just because you can cook doesn't mean that you should open a restaurant.
That's right. And that's in itself a fact, but it's also a metaphor for a whole lot of other things. You know, just because this person is a good boyfriend doesn't mean he's a good husband. Same concept, same principle. You follow me? So
wait, help the guys out. Just because she's a good one.
Just because she's a good girlfriend doesn't mean you don't make her a good wife. All right. So it's just a metaphor. It's the same thing about investing. The whole principle, what I'm telling you about investing, if you don't have a lot of money, but your goal is to have a lot of money, you need to have the tools. You need to be equipped. You need to have the consciousness. You need to have the mindset in order to make that happen. And the tools that you need in order to make that happen, first of all, is TIME, time. Get rid of the rabbit concept. Quick. No. The commitment. I became wealthy from time and commitment. That's the only way. And I look back, I said, goodness gracious. Just like I said, my grandson, who's 8 years old, I didn't see his skin grow. We went to bed every night. I seen him every day, you know, and next thing I know, I'm like, boy, well, your shoe size that big. And I ain't even see it. I've been right here with you.
I see you every day.
I see you every day. So that's how it is when you're doing investments. And so stop trying to see every second of it. It's not design. That's not your job. You need to say, Rob, okay.
People have not been taught, Rob, that money is a tool. Right. It should, and because we hear people saying, "Oh, plant a seed." Well, make that dollar make dollars. If that dollar can give if that dollar can give birth, to itself, and all of a sudden. I remember one of our teachers told us one time, I'm going to teach you guys how to save, and I want you to start with a penny, and I want you to double it every day. Everything. Right. Hey, just start with a penny. Next day, hey, just keep doubling. I want you to double whatever that penny grows to. I want you, and at some point you're saying, wait a minute, I've got to find a way for those pennies to earn, because I don't have stored up in the storehouse enough pennies to cover now all those pennies that I started with. So make it dollars, make it hundreds of dollars, make it thousands of dollars, and finding ways to have those dollars create dollars from itself.
Yes.
And now here's where you go to the Henderson Financial Group. How can I, without my sitting here watching these dollars grow or adding to it, where can I put my money? Ask, seek, knock, find a way that you can place those dollars that they will continue to grow as we sleep.
That's right. That's what you want. You want that. When I think about the Henderson Financial Group, man, we like Amazon. We don't sell nothing. We tell you what products out there.
That's available to you.
It's available to you. Depends on what you want. If you need a tent, if you need something for your car, whatever, we can tell you because that's what we do. So that's why I go to workshops and conferences all the time. Every time I go, man, James, I come back with just a plethora full of new stuff, new stuff, man. It's saying, oh, and I bring it back to Heisey and Tavares, Antonio. I mean, I bring back to the office. We have a meeting, and I say, oh my God, look at this. And we start using, then we start talking about it, and we start next week, man. I got 3 Zoom meetings with new strategy companies that I didn't even know was on the planet. So, and I bring that to the client saying, okay, this is what you need. This is something better. There's always things out there that are better. Always. Because the world is full of growth and development. It's changing all the time. It doesn't stay stagnant. So the tools that's available to you financially that can help you, they're always new ones. And that's why, if you still got a beeper, in other words, metaphor, then that means you out of touch. If you're still riding down I-95 and you're trying to get on the I-95 with a horse and a buggy, you out of time. You got to continue to grow. You got to change with the times. You just have to. And when it comes to financial planning, it's the same thing. You can't keep having some people come in here, man, they got an old insurance policy they took out 25 years ago. It's an old policy. You got to make changes. We change them all the time. Just like my homeowners insurance. You think I have the same homeowners? I've been in that house for 26 years. Do you think I have the same homeowners insurance company? I done had 10 of them. You think I'm gonna have the same one? My auto insurance. Do you think I have the same auto insurance carriage since I've been driving? No. You got to give me a deal. No, it's competitive out there. You're going to get my business if it's good. You follow me? So at the Henderson Financial Group, we do the same thing. We have clients that we put in strategy. We change that and got another strategy. That's why you sit there and say, okay, let's see if there's something better for Mrs. Sam or Mrs. Johnson. Now it's been 5 years. Can we do better? You always want to look and say, can you do better? That's why I like the strategies that the Henderson Financial use, because it mimics just like a medical, like medicine, and medicine changes, new technology changes, new treatment changes, really. Now even people losing weight, they got that with a GP1 or whatever, the Ozempic or whatever. Before people were just cutting their bodies up. Now you could just take it, man, look at somebody, look at Hollywood, look at Oprah. You're like, oh my God, what happened? She was doing quick weight loss. She was doing that. She changed now. She ain't doing quick weight loss no more. You look at DJ Khaled, all of them, a lot of people, this new technology. That's my point. The new technology. Me, myself, James, I just fast. I'll fast. I'll go out there and run some miles, and then I'll lose some weight. You got to have discipline to do that. A lot of people say they cannot do that, Rob. They have to go and get the shot. See, I can do that. You have to have discipline. You have to have commitment. I have that. Whatever it is, I can stay. I really can. I can commit it.
Well, Rob, before we get off here, I would love for you to speak to those people, because there are people that are trying to right now saying, I'm going to hold on to the monies that I have. What would you say to that person in saying this is an opportunity, as bleak as things may seem, and if you get hung up in what the news is today or what it is tomorrow or what you're told today, all of that fear that you have and thinking, I need to hold on, you're missing an opportunity. If you're holding on, particularly if you're just holding on to dollars, because, hey, think about it. The cost of gas now, if you're holding on to dollars, hey, what if the cost of gas continues to go up?
Yes. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. See, the wealthy people, when they say they're holding on to their dollars, and the poor people, they misunderstand that. See, when they say that they're holding on in terms of making investments, the wealthy people always make investments when things are low. And it's a way how you can make investments where you don't get hurt. There are investments where you put money in, and if the market goes down, you don't lose a penny.
Mm.
But the market goes up, you make money. That's a pretty good deal. There are investments like that you don't know about. And when you put your money in there, the minimum you're getting is 5% on the bench. 5% on the bench. And then when the market does take off, it takes off with the market. But if the market crashes, it don't crash. You don't lose a penny. See, they don't tell you the good stuff. The good stuff is always behind the counter locked up or down in the attic somewhere. You know what I mean? In the back room. And that's how it is. It's amazing. And it's a shame because I figure they don't want everybody to know. But if you come to the Henderson Financial Group, you say, Rob, I'm getting ready to retire. I'm afraid of the stock market. I'm going to tell you why you can put your money where you don't lose a penny and you still get a bonus and you still grow. That's very important to know. So you don't lean on your own understanding. Don't lean on your cousin who ain't rich or wealthy. And most people get their information from people who ain't rich or wealthy. Getting it from the beauty parlor man or lady or whatever, or the lawn service guy or whoever. No, you have to come to people who've been doing, someone like the Henderson Financial Group. We've been doing this a very long time. We keep our ears and eyes open. We're right there. We're in the mix. Why? Because we needed to do it for ourselves. We needed to do it for ourselves. We had to put our money somewhere. So follow us. We'll tell you. Much love to you. Man, I tell you. You know, and James, lately I've been getting so many people that are calling me about the Living Trust because a lot of people are referring. We've been doing a really good job in helping people to understand that. You know, people that they refer me. I'm not, you know, so I'm saying, wow, that's so good because you need that because you don't want to go through that probate. It takes a long time. The attorney fees can charge you a lot of money. And you have no control. So I'm telling you guys, if you have an aunt, an uncle, a sister, a brother, and they're individuals, you do really, really need to find out because all of us going to pass. All of us going to pass away. That's the way the system, that's the way God designed everything. If there's a beginning, there's an ending. It's sad to think about that, but people are dying every day. But you want to be proactive. Somebody got to be in the family and say, okay, do we have the financial stuff in order? And if someone who's sick, you definitely should be calling us and saying, okay, let's look and get financial stuff in order. All right. We won't
encourage family and friends to do the same.
That's right. Your family and friends. If you know somebody and you say, hey, just, you know, you need to call these people here at Henderson Financial Group so they can tell you, just do a checkup, make sure everything is in order. Because it's better to do it before death occurs than after. A lot of people come after and it's too late. We can't do a whole, you cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's out and it's going to cost you. The system is designed, if you don't be proactive and plan, the system is designed to make you pay more.
And please don't adopt the attitude of, well, I won't be here, so it won't matter. Yes, it does matter.
That's a selfish attitude.
Yeah. No, Rob, a lot of times they just say, oh, well, it don't matter. Hey, I don't care what they, no, that's our problem because that land with that 12-story building at one time in that community where you lived, at one time it belonged to one of your family members or your neighbor.
Sure did.
And now what they're doing, Rob, that 1980, there's going to be, I think, 12 to 15-story building built right next
in the
to
area.
It.
Wow.
Area, not in the area, across the street.
Oh my goodness. Man, your value of your property just shot up, didn't it? With TIME time, huh?
Right. Rob, you know, Seriously, two things that I missed out earlier, but two things I hope you'll speak on next time, and that is that dollar cost averaging, because these are the times that we're in, and I knew everybody was saying. As a matter of fact, when you and I had discussed it, uh, I had to go in and sign a paper saying to the people, "Wait, we're not suggesting you buy this." Or continue to buy it. And I said, you didn't suggest me to buy it in the first place. I wanted to tell them Henderson did. Robert did.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, you know, and, hey, Rob. And then when it turned around and went that other way, like you said, when it started doing this, all of a sudden, hey, he must have had inside whatever. What do they call it?
Information, inside
Yeah,
information.
some insiders info. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, I had some insiders information. I woke up one morning after praying. God showed me. And he did. and I obeyed. That's another thing. A lot of times we have ideas, but we don't want to take that step out of fear.
Yeah,
So if you don't step up or step out, then you look back and you say, I could have, I should have, I wish I had.
yes. The only difference between, I can say, one of my favorite sayings is the only difference between a rich man and a poor man. The only difference between a rich man and a poor man is the rich man did what the poor man either couldn't do or wouldn't do.
Wouldn't do.
And 95% of it, he wouldn't do it.
Wouldn't do it because he could have.
He could
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, you could have. You
Yeah,
could have stayed. Could have stayed in that place they call a hood right
that's
now.
right. Could have.
It turned. Yeah, you could have
Could have.
stayed right there and waited till they built up around you,
Yeah.
and
But he
said, "Now,
wouldn't.
how can I build one of those?"
Yeah. That's the only
Because
difference, man.
there's somebody out there that will say to you, you know, and I tell them all the time, man, hey, I don't own anything. I only
And,
manage it.
hey, James, and the biggest thing that causes people to fail is they say that's gonna take too long.
Okay.
That's gonna take too long.
Can
Oh,
you
that's gonna
imagine
take
that person who was 25 that's now 55, 65, or 75? Hey, did it take too long?
and that's something, James. That's a good way to put it, James.
Yeah, Rob. Did it
They
take?
told you
Because
when you
all
was
of a sudden,
25, and they told you when you was 25, now you 55.
right?
And
Did
but
it
you
take
say it's gonna take too long.
too long?
Now,
It
now
didn't take that long,
if
did
you
it?
if you if you'd invested when they told you 25, now you in 55. Woo! Look how much you would have had. They say it take too long. And see, right now, but that's from the point of view that most people have. People have quick, they want to get rich quick. And they don't understand that time is on your side, man. You got to understand that. And that's something, man, boy, if I was king, man, I'd have everybody take a course on time and look at time. That if I was king, everybody be required to have a course on understanding how time works and how time can
Well,
really.
he wrote a book on it, but they don't read it. Like I said, Rob, he went from the pit to the palace, second in charge to the kingdom.
Isn't that something?
Rob, only because he expressed he had a vision. There's another story in that too. A lot of times you can't tell people what God has spoken to you about. Shh, keep it quiet.
And they're gonna say you crazy.
And not only that, Rob, some people, hey, will dislike you because you're a dreamer.
Woo! Some people don't like Robert Henderson. I don't even know him. I ain't did nothing to him. That damn Robert Henderson. I don't even know him. I ain't did nothing to him, man. But anyway, listen. Hey James, we need prayer, brother. Take us
Oh
out.
my goodness. Father God, Lord Jesus, Holy Spirit, thank you for this right now moment. Thank you for the opportunity that you gave me to get on here because I thought for a minute I wasn't going to make it. And by the way, dear God, we want to thank you for the Urban Construction Crafts Academy,
Oh
Bill
yeah.
Dozier, his staff, and his team.
Oh yeah.
Bless them abundantly
Oh
for the
yeah.
work that they're continuing to do in the community. And dear God, if you would touch the hearts of those in the community that have an abundance, that can support, that they do, so that others will be blessed. You have taught us that a blessing will come to us if it can go through us. Therefore, God, bless us that we may be a blessing to others and that you will get the glory. Bless all those that will see this message that Robert has given this morning. May they find a place in their heart, mind, or soul to step out, realizing that what they can't see is what you already have destined for them that's greater than they can ask, think, or imagine. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Oh man. Hey, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and be safe. And I hope you picked up some nuggets here, what we were talking about. We talked a lot in metaphors. But I still hope you picked up what we was putting down because it's part of life. And we talked about time and about being patient and having commitment. Um, that's very, very important. It's things that we just it didn't get through our psyche when we was younger. But even whatever age you at, if you're watching and hearing this program, this message is for you. It really is not for everybody. You know who you are, and you know who you are. You know what you're thinking about, and you know what you're capable of doing. So all you got to do if you need some help, because we all need help, I want you to call 305-825-1444. Ask for me, and I promise you I'll talk to you privately and personally, and I'll help you. All right? Much love. Until we meet again next Saturday, we'll be here live and clear. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Peace and one love. One love, James.
One love,
One love.
always love.